So coming up this week on January 29th, the Bank of Canada is going to have their meeting that they have every so often. It's not once a month, but it does happen most months, where they decide what to do with the interest rates. If they're going to raise them, lower them, keep them the same, and then they talk about their outlook for the coming year and whatnot for the Canadian economy. It's usually some very dry content, but luckily for you, luckily for Josh, apparently only Josh, not for you, Michael Lee. I invest some of my free time into paying attention to this. So what I can tell you coming up this meeting this month is most likely a 0.25% cut to interest rates.
Yeah.
Which
for me
will be good for those people out there on variable and adjustable rate mortgages, such as this guy. So that's what's likely to come this month in the 29th. And then I think they have a meeting again in March. I don't believe there's one in February.
What does that mean? Interest rate decrease of what did you say?
It's like the baseline. I think they call it the overnight rate. And essentially, the major banks in Canada will use this rate as a baseline for the interest rates they'll offer us on loans, mortgages, car loans, whatever the heck we decide to borrow money for. They will take the rate that the Bank of Canada stipulates as the overnight rate, and they will add a certain amount to it and call it their prime rate. And then they will use that to determine your interest rate on a loan. So the lower the overnight rate is, the lower the rate you can get on loans. You pay less interest, you keep more money. It's good all around.
Yeah. Also affects your savings interest if you have money in the bank.
It affects your savings interest in a negative way. You will get less interest on your savings.
But if you're paying a big old debt from your mortgage, that should be a nice thing.
Yep.
Well, what does that mean for most Canadians?
Well, many Canadians have paid way too much for a house.
Yeah.
And they're paying a huge amount of interest on that.
That is correct.
So if they were...
a large number of Canadians are coming up this summer to November, or this fall, I believe.
Summer to November. It's an interesting range.
Yeah.
It's not wrong, though. I believe through 2025 and 2026, we have a huge portion of mortgages in Canada that will have to renew.
Like over 60% or something, I thought it was.
Yes, which is not normal, but it is the result of people jumping all over the rock bottom interest rates that existed right around the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah.
That is all coming up for renewal now, so we will have many people renewing off of interest rates of 2% or less.
Yep.
And renewing into an environment where they're being offered 4 to 5%, which, well, it may not sound like much when you do the math on, say a $600,000 or $700,000 house, whatever the average house costs in Canada. You could be talking about like $1,000 a month or more. So it's very significant. It will be difficult for a lot of people. So, well, it's not necessarily a great indication for Canada's economy as a whole. The interest rates are coming down. For the common person with a mortgage, this can be the lower this number gets before they renew, the better off they'll be when they renew.
Well, amen to that, Adam. I like lower rates for the amounts I pay and higher rates for the amounts that get me money. But that is what the stocks are for.
Yeah, you don't get to have both.